सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om. Today's topic in Chinmaya Yoga Motivation Series is on steadying the mind. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda has spoken of the mind and many aspects of yoga in the text called Hasten Slowly. We are looking into some aspects of the book through this series on Chinmaya Yoga. In chapter 5, Gurudev says, the Hindu Shastras, they declare the truth and point out goal, but they also clearly prescribe ways and means to achieve that goal. They say the goal of life is dharma, to do our duty well. One of the goals of life is artha, to gain wealth from this world, to gain and store it and redistribute it. Artha. The third goal of life is to express our desires, kama, in the right manner and enjoy this world, whatever is being provided in this world, enjoy and be happy. That is kama. And the fourth goal that is mentioned is moksha or liberation, meaning when the body and the individual personality is getting separated at the point of death, there is no coming back. Moksha simply means I don't study the same class in school, whether it is LKG or UKG or first standard or 12th standard. I complete the class very well so that I don't have to come again. That is what moksha is all about. So dharma, artha, kama and moksha. These are the four goals, and the Shastras prescribe to us how to, what are the goals and also how to achieve them. So what happens? How to steady the mind? When a man meditates upon that which is entertaining and pleasant to him, his mind in its gathering joy and satisfaction quietens itself and the chittam becomes steadily rooted in contemplation. This is directly from the Yoga Sutras, Yatha Abhimata Dhyanatva. So going back to the Yoga Sutras and what they say about what are all the problems with our mind and how to quieten them. The Yoga Sutra gives a very beautiful chart. It starts with quieten the mind. That's the first sutra. And then says, when you quieten the mind, you will be the seer and the mind will become the seen. You will be like the person standing on the ocean and the ocean is ahead of you. You are not the ocean. You are not the waves of the ocean. You are the one who watches the waves and watches the ocean. So that is, if we are in that state most of the time or all of the waking hours, then our life will move smoothly. Most often we have problems in life because we get involved with what is happening and then we do not know how to come out of it. So that is what in the Yoga Sutras it says, if you don't remain the seer, you will become absorbed in the scene. You will become vritti sarupyam. Vritti means the movements of the mind. And they describe how many types of movements are there in the mind. It says pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smriti. So whatever thoughts we get, we have to identify those thoughts. Are they pramana? Pramana means, are they something related to what I am experiencing in the present moment? What I see, what I hear, what I taste, what I smell, what I touch, or what I infer, like if it is cloudy, it's going to rain. If there is smoke, there is going to be fire. So these kind of thoughts, which I am experiencing right now in front of me. And then the third type of thought in pramana is what I read from books, the thoughts that are there in the scriptures, in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, and all the texts of knowledge, which is called Shabda Pramana. Viparyaya means confused thought. Vikalpa means delusory thought. Nidra means sleep thought, meaning there is no thought. That is called Nidra or sleep thought. Meaning there are thoughts, but I don't have the energy to perceive that thought, to hold that thought. Then it becomes sleep thought. And then the last category of thought is smriti or memory thought. So these are the 5 types of thoughts. And so if I control these 5 types of thoughts, or I manage these 5 types of thoughts, then I have conquered the mind. So what should you do to control these 5 is what the Yoga Sutra says. And not only the Yoga Sutras, even Thiruvalluvar or in the Bhagavad Gita, everywhere they talk about controlling the 5 sense organs. The perceptions that come through the sense organs, when they are controlled, we have mastered the mind. So, these thoughts are klishta and aklishta. Klishta means all the 5 can take us close to ourselves, all the 5, or they can take us far away from the self, depending on what they are doing, whether they are taking us close to the self. The same YouTube talk, if you are going to watch some entertainment show on YouTube, or something that is related, some fictitious imagination, which takes your mind away from you, then it is klishta, meaning that thought which you watch is taking you away from your own self, from this space where you are. But if you're watching something on yoga, something on meditation, something on self, something on the consciousness, you're watching and applying that and you're trying to understand that, listen to that and understand that, then it becomes an aklishta thought, which means it is taking you close to the self. And then the Yoga Sutras, they point out about how to quieten the mind. They say you have to practice abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means daily practice of one habit, one good habit of steadying the mind. It is practiced, and then constantly withdrawing the mind from what unnecessary thoughts and unnecessary perceptions that are constantly disturbing the mind. So vairagya is withdrawal, abhyasa is constant practice. And then what happens? They talk about there are many ways by which, for many categories of people, these can be practiced in this can be approached in different ways. So when we belong to the category of people. There are different categories of people. People who are just born in this world and they keep living in this world. They live an unconscious existence in this world and they go away. They enjoy what is there in the world. They suffer what is there in the world. Then they die and they move on. Then there are other categories of people who have almost achieved in this world, and spiritually also they have achieved a lot. They have got a lot of powers. They wield those powers and they are caught in those powers. So we are not talking about these 2 categories of people for yoga. There is a 3rd category of people who are striving to achieve that state. They are called mumukshus. Mumukshus are people who are striving to be free. And for these categories of people, yoga practice, what is it is mentioned? With shraddha, with complete faith, gathering a lot of energy, keeping the remembrance of the practice all the time, and then quietening the mind. These kind of practices are given. And what is the other way to quieten the mind? Is by Ishvara Pranidhana or surrendering to Bhagavan. You have Ishvara. The description of Ishvara is there. One who does not have any kind of an impurity of mind. They do not have any kind of an ajnana also. Ajnana means I don't know who I am is ajnana. And Ishvara is a person who is a self-realized master. It can be the guru or it can be somebody, some very high goal which is guiding us in our life is Ishvara. When we surrender to that goal, when we surrender to that master, when we surrender to that God whom we know has achieved great heights in life, like Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, or Hanuman, They're all people who have lived in the world and evolved themselves so much that they have achieved great heights in thought, in knowledge, in the sphere of knowledge. They are Ishvara, surrendering to them, meaning offering our thoughts, words, and actions to them constantly, will help us get the unified consciousness, which is yoga. And then what happens is, after this, in the Yoga Sutras, the description is given about what are all the obstacles in this. Yoga means I have thoughts and I have feelings. Uniting the thought and the feeling is yoga. What are all the obstacles that have come? The thought is here, the feelings are here. When the thought and feelings are united, then I am in yoga. But there are many obstacles in between. What are the obstacles that prevent the thought and the feeling to unite? They are vyadhi. Vyadhi means um, disease, physical disability, physical indisposition is vyadhi. Then sthana, laziness of the physical body. Because the body is very heavy, the body is not trained to be fit and active, then there is a kind of laziness, dhyana. Then you have samshaya. Samshaya means constant doubt whether this will happen or it will not happen, whether it is true or it is not true. All the time the mind is oscillating from one point to another, samshaya. Then avirati. Avirati, I want to grow and progress. I want to achieve great heights, but at the same time, I'm not able to leave small habits that are making me enjoy something in life constantly. Avirati. Then alasya is laziness, postponement, procrastination, and also laziness of thinking. I know that what somebody says is correct, but I do not want to take that thought because I like the thoughts that I have already. That's alasya. Then pramada. Pramada means what a big deal, this yoga practice. I just want to sleep. I want to get up late. I want to eat what I like. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to strain my mind and body and do all kinds of things to improve myself. That is called pramada. Not submitting myself to the discipline of yogic practices is pramada. Yogic practices or knowledge practices or devotional practices or doing the action without the identity as a doer of the action. We love that identity. Whenever somebody praises us for what we do, we love to say, yes, 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 I did it. No? So, disidentifying with ourselves as a doer of the action is called karma yoga. We don't want to do all those practices. That is pramada. Then Bhranti Darshana. Bhranti Darshana means I'm having a very distorted picture of whatever I see. If something is great, something is beautiful, I like to see it as something ugly and not so great. Constantly seeing a different picture than what is actually presented before me in reality is Bhranti Darshana. Bhranti Darshana is living in my own thoughts, living in my own world, not living in the present reality. Current reality is Bhranti Darshana. These are all obstacles to yoga. Yoga means unity of mind and feeling, thought and feeling is yoga. The obstacles are there inside. If we are not aware of those obstacles, they grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So, Bhranti Darshana, Alapta Bhumikatva. Alapta Bhumikatva means I am able to reach some space sometime. Sorry, yeah. Alapta Bhumikatva means I am not able to reach at all. I want to try to achieve something. What I want to achieve is here, but I am always here. I'm constantly going up here and then falling down, going up here, falling down. I'm not able to reach and match what I want to achieve, the goal I want to achieve. Is Alabdha Bhumikatva. Then Anavasthitatva. Sometimes I achieve. I invoke a lot of strength and a lot of energy and courage and I do something. I achieve. I'm almost there. I reach it and then I don't stand there for some more time. I just drop off to where I was earlier. These are all the obstacles, yoga antarayas. And when these obstacles come, they bring along with them obstacles of the mind, which are Dukkha. Dukkha means sorrow. The body has got disease, then the mind is experiencing sorrow. Then the body is having alasya, means laziness. Then the mind is having dullness, daurmanasya. Then angame jayatva. I am not doing the regular practices. My body itself is restless. My body is shaking. My body is fidgety. And the mind is also fidgety as a result of that. Angame jayatva is constant movement, a situation of unrest in the body and mind. And then Shwasa Prashwasa is a situation of unrest in the breathing. So these are the four qualities that come along with these obstacles in yoga. So to get rid of these obstacles and to get rid of, to achieve unity of thought and mind, which is the state of samadhi, which is the state of yoga, which is the state of consciousness, being in that state of oneness is yoga. One thing is to achieve that, and one thing is to remove all these obstacles. For all this, practice of yoga, practice of different aspects of yoga and meditation, and also, if that is not possible, Ishvara Pranidhana is surrendering to Bhagwan, surrendering to Ishvara, surrendering to the Guru, the Master, who teaches us this path, is very helpful. What will happen? What happens is, when I'm doing this constantly, when I'm doing this practice and surrender, all the impurities of my mind, all the blockages of my mind are removed, and the path to yoga becomes very simple, very easy. The thought and the mind are one. So, for doing this, even in the Yoga Sutras, it is mentioned 7 steps are given. Our Pujya Gurudev has spoken about the 7th step in his book, Hastens Told Slowly, Yatha Abhimata Dhyanatma. So we will see all the 7 steps. The first step we have already seen in the previous episode, which is in our society, when we are when we are interacting with the society, to keep our mind calm. What should I do? I should have, whenever in my close relationships with members of my family, whatever thoughts I'm getting, which if it is a happy thought, it can be only 2 types of thoughts: happy thought or sad thought. If it is a happy thought, when it is the relationship is the members of my family and the friends I have chosen, or people who are very close to me, people who are known to me and close to me. If it is a happy thought, I express with the thought of friendship, the feeling of friendship. If it is a sad thought, I express with the feeling of compassion. When I express compassion, the sad thought gets, when I express with compassion, the sad thought melts away. The happy thought also, we don't need happy thoughts or sad thoughts. Happy thought is a wave, sad thought is a wave. Um, Goodness is a wave, evil is also a wave. Everything is a thought form, and a thought form is a wave, a movement. A wave and a movement can never keep the mind still. So if it is a happy thought, I express maitri, friendship. If it is a sad thought, I express karuna or compassion. In society, if it is a happy thought, which means it's a thought that gives me joy, then I express with congratulations, joy, happiness. I express my happiness for them when they do good work and they are doing good activities in society. It gives joy to everybody. I express with joy. If they are doing evil activities, if they are doing adharmic activities, if they are doing something wrong in society, the best way to keep my mind quiet is to ignore that, which is upeksha, not give importance to it, take the importance away from that and focus it on something that I really need to do, something that I need to concentrate on. When I do this, my mind will be at peace. So, this is the first one. The second one is with our prana, with related to our the movement of energy, the vital airs. Prachardana vidharanabhyam va pranasya. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. So one way by which we can regulate the breathing, we are not going to control the breathing, we are going to regulate the breathing and make it smooth, because the breath and the mind are closely connected. So one way is deep yogic breathing. Whether I am sitting in a chair, or whether I am walking, or even while lying down, deep yogic breathing can be practiced. How is it done? As I inhale deeply first. Just sit up straight, spine erect, shoulders relaxed, chin is parallel to the floor, eyes can be closed. Inhale and exhale normally a couple of breaths, and then beginning the yogic breathing, I inhale om 1, om 2, om 3, om 4. So the chest is expanded, the chest expanded chest, the lungs push the diaphragm down, the diaphragm is up like this, it is pushed down and curves downward like this, and then the abdomen is pushed out. Inhaling 4 counts and exhaling 8 counts, consciously withdrawing the abdomen in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, consciously inhaling Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. The chest expands, the diaphragm goes downward, the abdomen is pushed up. Exhaling Om 8, Om 7, Om 6, Om 5, Om 4, Om 3, Om 2, Om 1. Relax. So this is deep yogic breathing. Prachardana vidaranabhyam va pranasya. Inhaling and exhaling consciously and deeply can quieten the mind. The third method is focusing on the sense objects. For example, everyday practice, this you can choose any one practice, whether whatever I am seeing, just giving my attention without any comments, without any likes and dislikes, just observing that object keenly for some time. Eyes. When I'm hearing something, again without any comments, without any thoughts, without any likes and dislikes, observing what I hear, without saying it should be or it should not be, without criticizing that sound, without hating that sound, without loving that sound, just observing the sound and let it pass. Observing the smell and let it pass. Observing the taste and let it go. Observing the feeling on the skin and let it go. When I'm practicing this constantly, the mind can be steadied. Sthiti nibandhini. The mind becomes steady with this practice. Another practice is Vishokava Jyotishmati. There is a thought called Jyotishmati, which means it's basically a positive thought. Whatever is inside within me is very beautiful. It is the presence of that consciousness, and it shines in many parts of the body, in the top of the head, between the eyebrows, in the throat center. Any god that you see, it is always some focus on some center of the body which radiates energy, like the heart center or the abdomen. These are the centers that I can focus and meditate on. So that will also quieten the mind. And then I might have a teacher, a guru, a master, or the whole world may revere somebody as a guru. Like, for example, Shuka Brahma Maharishi, or Veda Vyasa, or Valmiki, or Vasishta. There are many gurus. We may know personally some gurus in our life. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, or Gurudev Swami Shivananda, or Gurudev Swami Tapovan Maharaj, or Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or Swami Vivekananda. So many gurus are there in the world. So, meditating on the form and the thought of the Guru. In the Tirumandiram also there's a very beautiful verse. Telivu Guruvin Tirumeni Kandal. There is consciousness in looking at the form of the Guru. Telivu Guruvin Tirunamam Cheppal. Chanting the name of the Guru can give clarity of mind. Clarity of mind comes when the thoughts of the mind are quietened, and then I remain as a seer. தெளிவு குருவின் திருவார்த்தை கேட்டல். When I'm listening to the words of the Guru, when I'm listening to the teachings of the Guru, then that gives clarity of mind. தெளிவு குருவுரு சிந்தித்தல் காணி. When I'm meditating on the form of the Guru, I will get clarity of mind. So this is what it says. Vitaraga vishayam va chittam. When I give my mind towards a person or an individual who is bereft of any desires for his own self, but is constantly thinking about the welfare of the world, such a person is a guru. And when I meditate on that person, my mind will become quiet. Then there is another method, Swapna Nidra Jnana Alambanamba. In my dream, I might see something auspicious. I might see the form of some god. I might see the form of my guru. Or I might see the form, the universe, the stars, the planets in my dream. Something that is very auspicious which I see in the dreams. Or even the happiness and joy that I get when I sleep deeply. When I meditate on this, also the mind will become quiet. And then the last one is what Puja Gurudev has also mentioned. Yatha abhimata dhyanatva. Why all these processes? Anything that I want to, anything that I love. If there is a mango and I love the mango, I just keep the mango here. I meditate on the mango with love, without desiring it for myself. It is an object for meditation. If I love reading something, I just sit with that book and I read. I spend time reading that book, then that becomes meditation. If I love painting, I sit with the paints and brush and paper, and for long hours, I just keep painting, I keep coloring, I focusing on those colors and paints and drawing and the beauty of the image that's coming out, then that is also meditation. If I love music, I love playing a musical instrument, I can play the musical instrument, I can sing, I can be happy and be in that state. That is meditation. If I love sports, I love cricket, putting my full attention on the batting and the bowling and the practice, everything is meditation. If I love tennis, or if I love swimming, or if I love teaching, or if I love simply spending time with friends, if I love going to some place for recreation, just observing the beauty around me, observing the beauty of the sky, relishing beauty of nature, everything becomes meditation. Everything takes the mind to a very quiet state. And that is called Chinmaya Yoga. Is a very simple process. We don't need to work very hard for that. There are two ways of achieving anything in life. One is to put a lot of hard work, stress ourselves out, and then wonder why nothing is happening. One is to just do what needs to be done with love and attention, and then dearly wish that yes, this should happen. And when we put our attention on the process, whatever needs to happen comes and meets us halfway in our life, and we have achieved the purpose of yoga. We have achieved the goal of yoga. So, Chinmaya Yoga is there is nothing to achieve, nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to gain. Whatever we need is already there. Chinmayam is what we are, that is consciousness. It is already available with us in abundance. There is no dearth of this consciousness. There is no one part of our body which does not have consciousness. It is there in every inch, every centimeter of our body, every trillionth part of our body, zillionth part of our body, quintillion, many quantities are there now. All parts of the body, in every small microscopic particle, this consciousness is there. All we have to do is to just to know that it is there. The moment we know it is there, then the state of yoga is achieved. That is what yatha abhimata dhyanatva. Abhimata dhyanat means whatever I love, focus on that, meditate on that, be quiet with that. When I say focus on that, focus on the qualities. Focus on the qualities of the Guru. the qualities of the master, the qualities of that Ishvara or God that I worship, the qualities of love, the qualities of harmony, the qualities of friendship, the qualities of compassion. Focus on that. When I focus on those qualities, I imbibe those qualities, and those qualities will help me to quieten the mind. Yatha abhimata dhyanat. Focus on whatever you love to do. Focus on any action with full interest. It can be drawing column, or it can be tying flowers, or it can be decorating, or it can be beautifying your home, or it can be cleaning your space. Whatever activity you want to do, focus on that. Give yourself completely into that activity. Surrender into the flow of that activity. Automatically, the mind will be in a state of yoga. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हरि ओम.